All right, Sports Fury Nation, this Sunday night, it's going down on prime time. Woo. Sunday Night Football, we got the Dallas Cowboys hosting the New York Football Giants. And who else would we have to preview this game? None other than Mr. Bad Dog himself. Welcome, Bad Dog.
Thanks for having me, guys. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
And cheers to everybody watching.
Welcome back, man.
Thank you guys for having me. Always a pleasure to be on the show. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, both your teams, as well as my Bears, we all lost week one.
It's a rough one.
We're all looking to bounce back, but you two guys are playing this Sunday Night Football. Only one of you guys can get your first win. Someone's got to go 0-2.
That team
right
here.
The Giants, or is it going to be the Cowboys? Well, we're about to break it down. Now, guys, I'm going to act as a moderator. I'm going to kick some questions off to these guys and have them break it down. And y'all watching at home, let us know in the comment section down below on how you see this game coming out.
Yes.
All right, so let's start things off within the trenches.
Oh, yeah.
Cowboys, Giants. I want to start with the Giants O-line up against the Cowboys D-line, y'all's front seven.
Yes.
Now, the Giants O-line struggled a little bit in the Jacksonville game. You know, early on they had trouble opening up some lanes for Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, look, the Jacksonville Jaguars defense is really stacked. It's really good. Flowers, you know.
Ooh, Flowers, yeah.
Don't get me started.
Right, so that's what I want to talk about. Kick it off to Mr. Bad Dog 7676 first. How do you feel about the Giants O-line and
I think that's
going against Cowboys?
That is definitely the weakest part of our team. As you saw, Eric Flowers, right from play one, don't know what the hell he's doing. It looked like a wrestling move. You know how you throw somebody off the ropes and hit him with like a knee in the solar plexus? That's exactly how we tried to block, you know, the defenseman coming from what the hell? So he gets called for a tripping. He gets called for a holding. Very first series of the season. 2 penalties on him. And then, of course, he was the culprit in the pick six. I mean, Eli Manning had nowhere to go with the ball. He was beaten right off the rip. I worry about if the Cowboys line DeMarcus Lawrence up against Eric Flowers. It'll be a long, long night for the Giants. I do believe that Will Hernandez and Solder will be able to hold their own. I always worry about Eric Flowers. So I think the Giants should try doing some 2 tight end sets now and again. If they want Evan Engram in there, you know, for his offense, then I think they should play him. But they should try to get Eric Flowers some help. Maybe put Rhett Ellison in there, help Eric Flowers out, just chip. Get a running back over there to chip, whatever they have to do to slow the pass rush down for the right side of the line. I was optimistic that moving Flowers to the right side where he played in Miami would help the Giants' offensive line. It is obvious it didn't. He still has very poor footwork. He has very poor technique. He's just not very athletic. He's slow. His hand placement is bad. He's just not a good tackle. I'll tell you, if he plays a few more games like he did Sunday, you might see Wheeler in there instead of Eric Flowers. So I definitely worry about that because the Cowboys' front seven, although not as good as Jacksonville. I mean, I don't know if there is any as good as Jacksonville in the NFL. Still a very formidable defensive line. They played very well against Carolina. The thing I saw that hurt Cowboys more than anything was Cam Newton running the ball in the option. You ain't going to worry about that with Eli Manning. So the Giants' offensive line is going to have to find a way to help Flowers out, to pry some holes open, to get Eli Manning some protection, and get Saquon Barkley some lanes to run in.
Okay, Sean. Can you guys put that pressure on Eli Manning and get to him? Is Eli in for a long day or a long night on Sunday?
You know, I do think so. We saw DeMarcus Lawrence. He got a sack against Cam Newton. He almost had a couple other ones, but like Mr. Bad Dog said, Cam Newton's legs, him running the ball, really hurt us on the defensive side. And we did actually, our defense did play pretty solid against them, how atrocious our offensive played. So we got to take that into account, how much we actually held them only to 16 points. And we actually shut down McCaffrey for most of that game. He had, towards the end of the game, after we got exhausted, we gave up some more yardage. But that was also mainly because we had to worry about Cam keeping it on that read option. We don't have to worry about that with Eli. Eli's going to run his fall over. You know? He's not going to run the ball. So you just touch him, he falls. So I'm not worried about Eli running the ball. I think we don't have to worry about that at all. Our D-line can't. Flowers is the biggest thing. I love Nate Soldier. I love Will Hernandez, the rookie. I feel like the key thing is going to be DeMarcus Lawrence. How are they going to protect him? Tight end set? Maybe Saquon Barkley having to help out over there. That's going to eliminate him going out for passing routes. So that's where I think our defense is going to key off.
Okay. All right. So now let's flip that. All right.
Yes.
Your offensive line going up against the Giants' front seven. How are you feeling about your Giants in that regard?
Okay, so losing Travis Frederick obviously hurts the Cowboys big time. I mean, he is a big piece. I'm hopeful that Olivier Vernon plays in this game. He was missing big time because Jacksonville was able to run to the left side of their line. Now, in history, there's very few people that give Tyron Smith a hard time because he is a beast, and I love that guy. I wish we had him. But Olivier Vernon is that guy that gives Smith a lot of problems because he's quick, he's athletic, he's strong, he's very fast. If you go back and look at the games, even when he was at Miami, he always gave Smith a hard time. I think with the 3-4, the New York Giants will be able – they might not be able to get a lot of pressure on Dak. I don't really know. I don't know if Betcher's going to blitz. I really don't know what it is. But what the Giants need to do on defense, and I said this, the Cowboys and Jacksonville Jaguars on offense are very similar in that I don't worry about Dak throwing the ball down the field. I don't worry about their receivers stretching the field. I don't worry about the tight end because Witten's not there anymore, thank God. I loved seeing him in the booth last night and not on the field because he killed the Giants all the time.
Yeah.
What we have to do is exactly what Carolina did. You get Dallas in 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and make Dak Prescott beat you, then I think we'll have a good day on defense. So this is how we swept them in 2016. We shut down Ezekiel Elliott. I think he had one good half in the second game.
Yeah.
He had a good first half, and in the second half, I think we held him to 16 yards. And in the first game, we held him to 51 yards. If we can stop Ezekiel Elliott, which is a tall task because the Cowboys' line is still very formidable even without Frederick, but I think that is the game plan. We got to throw some run blitzes out there. Maybe we have to bring up an extra guy and say, you know what, if you can beat us, beat us. Because the Giants shut down. Jacksonville did not score a point in the second half. They scored on defense.
Yeah.
So we were able to, and granted, losing Fournette was a big deal, but still, it's not like Fournette was killing us. They had some good runs, not great runs. But like I said, Olivier Vernon's going to help in that facet. And as long as we stop Ezekiel Elliott, don't allow them to establish the run, I think we're in good shape on defense.
Sean?
See, this is one that does bother me a little bit because our offensive line pass protection wasn't that great. Connor Williams was getting pushed back a lot into the pocket, even though he only gave up, I think, 1 or 2 sacks. But the pressure was there. It was forcing Dak to have to scramble. I didn't like that much. Josh heard me Sunday screaming at the TV that Connor Williams should have been our right tackle and Lyle Collins should be our guard.
They kept
pushing him back.
It was getting bullied.
And I'm a little bit worried about that because y'all have Damon Harrison over there, big old boy, up the middle.
Yeah, he's a beast.
And that makes me a little nervous. Now, good thing is, if we have to worry about it, Zeke is one of the best blocking running backs, but I want Zeke to go out for passes because we saw TJ Yeldon go out of the backfield, catch a touchdown against y'all. If we do play action that way, I think Zeke could be open on those. Play action, then straight dump it off to him. Quick passes is what we need to do.
Okay.
I think we can get our running game. We couldn't really get a good running game going against Carolina. I don't know what it was. They just really shut us down. I'm not sure if it was Connor Williams, his overall Travis Frederick, but we got to – Zeke had less than 20 carries. That's ridiculous. This guy is a game changer. He should have more than 20 carries, hands down. And Leonard Fournette, he went down, first half, right? Sometime, I'm not sure exactly when. But he had 9 carries for 41 yards. That's not bad. That's averaging over 4 yards a carry. If you're averaging 4 yards a carry, you're controlling the tempo of the game. You're running. You're dominating the line.
Right.
I think if we could do that, if we feed it to Zeke, that's going to be a big key. But I am worried about Harrison versus Connor Williams. That's going to be, I think, the key matchup for us on offense and y'all's defense line against us.
All right, very interesting, man. Great points. Now, I want to talk about those running backs. You were just mentioning Zeke. I want to know who's going to have a bigger game.
Ooh.
Zeke had less than 20 carries. So did Saquon Barkley. 18 carries for 106 yards and a touchdown. But most of that came off that one big play.
63, I think, 60-something yards?
Yeah, he was struggling to get going for majority of the game. How do you see Saquon Barkley faring in week 2 as opposed to week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys?
I think it'll be more consistent for the simple fact, again, the Cowboys are not the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, that is such a tough matchup for any team. What I liked about Saquon Barkley, and again, I said this in one of my videos, and I hate to use the name Barry Sanders because, in my opinion, Sanders is the greatest running back ever. But Barry Sanders was a guy that you could shut down all game and then bang, 70-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
So I like seeing that from Saquon Barkley, knowing that anytime we give him the ball, he's capable of hitting a home run. And again, in that particular run, it's like the first one he had in the preseason. You saw the patience, then you saw him go, then you see him break tackles, make a move, and the speed down the sideline is ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he can be more consistent against the Cowboys' defensive front seven just because it's not Jacksonville's defensive front seven. I'm not saying he'll have a great game.
Yeah.
To me, Ezekiel Elliott is definitely more of an established running back, and their line is much better than our offensive line. I think we've got to run to the left side. I don't think you can run to the right side with Eric Flowers. Just don't run the hell over to. Just throw Flowers into garbage. I cannot stand Eric Flowers. I don't have barely any hair left, but he makes you want to rip the rest of the damn shit out of my head. I cannot stand that guy. Mm-hmm. But I do think just because it's not Jacksonville's front seven, that he'll have a better day. Again, I'm not saying he'll have a fantastic day, but I think he'll be more consistent throughout the game than just, a yard, -2, a yard, and then a 70-yard run. I think you'll see a lot of 3- and 4-yard runs, which is fine. If we're 2nd and 6 all day, I can live with that.
Right. Yeah. I like to see, 23, 25 touches
for each guys
from Saquon Barkley. But yeah, exactly. You made a bunch of great points. We saw, that from Barkley in week 1. Yeah. We saw that power. We saw that agility. We saw the speed. This is a guy who has it all. I'm so high on Saquon Barkley. That's why I drafted him in a lot of some of my leagues. Yeah. But to Ezekiel Elliott, man, Zeke.
Yeah.
Is he going to get over 20 carries? How is he going to fare here against the Giants, man? Barkley versus Zeke. Yeah, he already said it. Mr. Bad Dog talking about Zeke is the more established running back. Yeah. Is he going to be established here in week 2?
He better. Let me just put it that way. Every time Zeke gets at least 25 touches, I think we've only lost 1 game. I have to look at the stats. But usually if he gets over 100 yards, 25 carries, our odds of winning are drastically higher. Because that's what this team is built off of, controlling the clock, controlling the tempo, time of possession. That's how we won a couple years ago when we were, 13-3. Mm-hmm. Our time of possession, we're number 1 in the league. Yeah. Why? Because we ran the fucking ball. So...
Remember 2 of those losses in 2016 were to this team right here. Just remember that.
I knew that was coming. That was, for some reason, y'all had Dak's number and Zeke's number for that year. But you know what? But if we can establish the run, which we can, feed the ball to Zeke. This guy, even when he's getting bottled up, he's just, like you said, like Saquon Barkley was. Yep. He will eventually break it. He will run through arm tackles.
He is the offense.
Yeah. Very true.
And, the first half, I would say the Zeke will actually kind of rusty to me in the first half of the Carolina game. Mm-hmm. He wasn't running through those arm tackles. I felt like he didn't have his feet under him. But in the second half, when they did give him the ball here and there, he looked pretty decent. He was running through those arm tackles. Yep. And that's probably because he didn't play it all in the preseason. That's why I'm not overreacting too much to my team, how they did, or even to your team. I'm not going to overreact to some of these guys playing not up to their potential. I think Saquon Barkley's going to be great because I feel like they have to get their feet under him. And them being held out most of the preseason doesn't help with that. So,
Barkley only had 4 touches in the preseason.
Exactly, and it all came from that first game, right? Mm-hmm. So Zeke didn't have any. So it's like, I think it's going to be a major difference. I think these running backs are going to be the key to these offenses. Mm-hmm. And I think Zeke is going to have a big game. I think he's going to get it going, get it rumbling and tumbling.
I hope not.
Those watching right now, let us know who you think is going to have a bigger game. Zeke or Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Now moving on.
Okay.
Now moving on to the quarterbacks. Yeah. Dak versus Eli.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not too much to get excited here. But
for both of us.
So I want to talk about the quarterbacks and their weapons as well. The wide receivers and the tight ends. Like who's going to have a more successful night here? Now I'll kick it off to Mr. Beddog.
Well, here we have a case of a has-been in Eli Manning against the never was in Dak Prescott. That's what.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys have seen my videos. I am very down on Dak. I call him dink and dunk Dak Prescott. I've called him a poor man's Alex Smith. I never worry about him stretching the field, and this is why I'm constantly saying, to beat Dallas, stuff the box, and say, if Dak can beat us, then I tip my cap. Eli Manning definitely has more weapons on offense. The Cowboys do not have an Odell Beckham. Although we talked about Evan Ingram dropping passes, they do not have an Evan Ingram. They do not have a Sterling Shepard. They do have a great running back in Ezekiel Elliott.
Mhm.
But Tavon Austin, he failed in Los Angeles, St. Louis, wherever he was when the Rams are playing. And the Rams have moved all over the place.
Yeah.
Alan Hearns, Cole Beasley, Michael Gallup dropped the pay. They're a mishmash bunch of players that I don't think really have a lot of chemistry on there because they're all, with the exception of Cole Beasley, I don't think any Cowboys receiver returned from last year. Oh, Terrence Williams is there. I'm sorry. He's easily forgettable because, again, this is a guy that's had a lot of talent and never really.
I don't like him either.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to be great. He reminds me of Ruben Randall. This guy would have a huge game and then disappear for a month. That's Terrence Williams.
Yeah.
I definitely think in the quarterback battle that Eli Manning has the upper hand for the simple fact that he does have Odell Beckham. He does have Evan Ingram. He does have Sterling Shepard. And even Cody Latimer. All of these guys can stretch the field. All of these guys run great routes.
Yeah.
Now, catching the ball is a different story, and Eli Manning has got to put the ball on these guys because we saw Eli Manning miss Odell Beckham wide open. Could have been the game. He missed him twice, actually. The first time, though, he couldn't step in the throw because, again, Eric Flowers got beat. But you know what I'm saying. So I do think Eli Manning can have the better game because his weapons are just, simply put, they're much better on the receiving core than Dallas is.
No doubt about it. Now, Sean, Dak Prescott, 23 for 37, 224 yards, an interception, no touchdown. No touchdown for Eli neither, but at least he had the excuse of going up against possibly the best secondary
Eli
in the
had an
league,
interception too.
Jalen Ramsey.
Eli had an interception.
Eli had an interception?
Eli threw a touchdown, just the wrong team. You guys
that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, now, how does Dak Prescott, with his no weapons, have a shot against the New York Giants, man?
So this is concerning to me, and I said it throughout the going into this game. I was nervous that.
Oh, and by the way, that stats that I read, that was for Eli Manning. That was the 23 for 37, 224 interception. That was.
I don't think
that was Eli Manning.
Okay.
Dak threw 19 for 29, 170.
That's what I was confused about.
Yeah.
Okay.
My bad.
Dak didn't throw a pick. He's not Eli. But anyways, I gotta do something.
He might throw one here.
I had to do something. He took a shot at my guy. But no, he's absolutely right. Eli does have a lot better weapons. You know, our offense. I was worried about it. They didn't play Dak, and I was vocal about it out of all preseason leading into this first game. I was nervous about not having any chemistry with all these new weapons. Michael Gallup, Alan Hearns, Swain, our tight end that we're running with. We don't have any chemistry, and we saw it.
It's a great point. Great point.
That I'm hoping that could change, but it might take a couple weeks. That's why I think Zeke's going to be the key. But to me, this is going to boil down to Dak being smart with it, when to throw. We saw when we were watching.
Yep.
I felt like he needs to make more plays with the legs. I feel like he wants to try not to be the running quarterback that everybody expects him to be, and he wants to throw the ball when he should be running it, and he tries to run the ball when he should be throwing it. Right. And it's like, why are you running right into a line that's collapsing on you? Yeah. You know, like, why aren't you escaping when you have a wide open gap? Like, to me, Dak, last year he admitted going into this offseason that he tried to do too much last year. And I still think he's trying to do too much. I think he's thinking too much.
Right.
Yep.
He needs to just play instinctively.
That's
like
exactly.
he did the first year, and he was phenomenal his first year. Stop thinking so much. Just go out there and play your game. Be a playmaker. And I think that's the biggest weakness I'm scared of.
You're saying that, since he did so great his rookie year, that pressure is on him. Everyone's expecting to go out there and do that. Now he's just thinking way too much about it.
Yeah.
Last year, and now going into this year.
I think he's got the talent. He's not going to be a big-time thrower or anything like that. He doesn't have a huge arm, but I think he could be a good manager and make plays with his legs.
He does love Beasley.
Beasley was a good thing because he's played with him in so many years. Right. So, it's like, Beasley looked great. Yeah. But Gallup, Alan Hearns, I think Alan Hearns only had one catch, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Let me see. Let me double check. Hearns, one catch for 20 yards. Like, come on. Gallup, one catch for 9 yards. The only other receiver besides Beasley Thompson had 3 catches.
Yeah.
That's not good. So
did Terrence Williams catch a pass at all?
Who?
Terrence Williams, did he do anything?
Yeah,
did
he got one pass for 6 yards. Literally,
yeah.
Like that's just, to me, it dumbfounds me what kind of passing game we had going on there. But we did have some drops. Michael Gallup had a drop. A couple players had drops, but they got to get that chemistry going.
Now, he was talking about Eli and his offense. What about your secondary, man? Do they have a prayer or a hope?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
I think so. Now Odell, nobody can shut down Odell. But
right, yeah.
Eli not being accurate, because we know Eli getting pressure, he'll just throw it up sometimes.
Yes, he does.
And I think that's going to benefit. We got a very young secondary, which has a lot of talent. Chidobe Awuzie. Awuzie is looking great. Byron Jones playing a corner. I think I like that better.
Okay.
So actually Dallas secondary, we did pretty well against until we started getting tired in the second half against the pass. Mm-hmm. And we almost had a pick on Cam Newton. Sean Lee tipped the ball and went right into Jeff Heath's hands and he missed it. Like, it was just so close. So I feel like our secondary, Sean Lee being a great covering linebacker, knowing Eli can really help out. Yeah. So, and Sean Lee was a little rusty this past game, man. He didn't play at all in the preseason hardly. And so hopefully, I'm not scared of our defense. I'm not really worried about our defense. Mm-hmm. I am worried about Odell, obviously. Because Odell, nobody can shut him down. But I'm not too worried. Besides Odell, I'm not worried about anybody else. Okay. Because I think our defense is good regarding getting pressure and all the way around. So.
All right. Now down to the coaching. I think this is pretty obvious, but who's going to call a better game here on Sunday Night Football, Bad Dog?
All I can say is I hope Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett live forever. I hope they just stay together. That is a marriage made in heaven to me as a Giants fan, because Cowboy fans hate Jason Garrett. And I feel you. We had Ben McAdoo for 2 years, and I couldn't stand him at all. Yeah. Thank God we got rid of him. But definitely, I mean, Pat Shermer's a better coach. Listen, Pat Shermer won 9 games in Cleveland in 2 years. Okay? That doesn't sound like a lot, but considering the fact Cleveland's won 4 games in the last 3 years, tells you Pat Shermer did it. And he had Brandon Weeden. I don't know if Charlie Fry was there, Brady Quinn, whoever the hell his quarterbacks. They had nobody there. Right. He won 9 games. And then look what he did with Minnesota last year. Mm-hmm. I think the fact that I love the Giants coaching staff as a whole. I love Betcher as a defensive coordinator. I think Shula called a good game against Jacksonville because I said we moved the ball well against Jacksonville, and there were definitely opportunities for big plays that we just missed because of pressure and because, hey, Eli is Eli. You know, sometimes he started 10 for 10 in that game. He started 10 for 10, and then he was terrible. And this is why, as Giants fans, Eli drives us crazy because it's like the girl at the curl. He looks really good for a half, and then all of a sudden it's a different quarterback. Yeah. But obviously, I mean, Cowboy fans hate your head coach, so I'm going to say Pat Shermer's the better head coach here, and I think he'll call a better game.
No, yeah, absolutely. Sean, kick it off to you. Now, you already talked about it earlier in this breakdown. Jason Garrett, week 1, I thought that was just atrocious play calling in that game. Not using Zeke to his full potential, under 20 carries when I thought he was doing very well against Carolina. I thought that was a game that you guys could have been much better in and maybe had a shot to win. So, what's going on in week 2 with Jason Garrett, man? Do you think he's in the hot seat this year?
He better be. I'm not a big fan of Jason. Now, to Jason Garrett's defense, he's done a great job building a great team, I think. Young pieces, that offensive line is one of the best. DeMarcus Lawrence, we've seen it pan out. We've seen Sean Lee, besides his injuries, he's been great for us. So we've had he's done great drafting and finding talent, Zeke and all these players, but I feel like the play calling needs to be better. The making adjustments at halftime and week to week, to me, is a big concern. I'll admit Pat Shermer is going to be a better coach. Okay. Jason Garrett, he better be on the hot seat this year. I want him to be on the hot seat. I want him to be.
He's my favorite coach.
I hate him. I hate him.
That's the NFC East is all.
I feel like this is going to be like we needed someone like John Gruden, how he built up Tony Dungy built up the Tampa Bay Bucks, and then they brought John Gruden to take him over the edge. Like I think that's what we need. We need that coach to come in and take us over the edge. That's all we need.
Okay. All right. So. Final picks, guys. I'm pretty sure I know where you guys want to go with this, but for the record, Bad Dog, who's winning Sunday?
The Cowboys will lose. 24-17, Giants.
Woo! 24-17!
Damn, blowout!
What?
Sean?
I don't think he can believe. He's about to spit out his beer over there. Get out of here. No, this one I think could go either way. I'm very nervous about this game, honestly.
So am I.
I got my Cowboys winning, but I think it's going to be like maybe a field goal game. It can even be a 1-point game.
Can your kicker make a field goal?
Shut up.
Forgot about that. No, Dan Bailey. Thank God for that, too.
Fucking shit. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
You had to throw that in.
Remember how mad you were Sunday? You were like, why don't we get rid of Dan Bailey?
I threw my hat. I was pissed, man. No, I think it could come down to the last drive, like it always usually does against Giants and Cowboys.
And we always run the short end of the stick.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like,
But no Romo.
No Romo.
That's true, man. Romo was. Yeah, I know everybody hated him, but that guy was a magician, man. So I think the Cowboys can pull it out, but I'm not confident. I'm not confident, man.
Okay, so you got the Cowboys in a close one, right? Just edging it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they can get Zeke going. I'll trust Zeke over Saquon Barkley this early in his career. Because I think it's all going to come down to those two guys.
Right?
Yeah.
In my opinion. So.
Yep.
Well,
the funny thing is about this game, even though it's week 2, this is a huge game for both teams.
Yeah,
Neither team wants to be 0-2 and 0-1 in the division.
Yeah.
So it's not a must-win for either team, but this is a big game for both of these teams.
And it's a divisional game.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Divisional game.
Yes.
Huge.
So what I worry about as a Giants fan, in recent years we haven't won these games. We really haven't. I'm just hoping with the new coaching staff and the new players that this is the type of game where the Giants can come together after a tough loss against a really good team, win a big game on the road in prime time, and build some chemistry and change the culture in that locker room that they know they can win these big games. That's why it's so important for the Giants to win this game. Like I said, I just think the matchups, we were so close to beating Jacksonville, who, like I said, the fact we moved the ball very well against them, gives me a lot of confidence that we can do that against Dallas. And that's why I think we can win this game by a touchdown.
Yeah,
but I can see Dallas being inside the 10-yard line, like I said, going for it, like driving to tie the game, and just falling short. At least I hope that's what happens. Maybe I drank too much tonight. Who the hell?
We're not going to wear our blue uniforms, jerseys this week, so we're not going to be cursed.
Yeah.
Whenever we wear the blue ones, we lose a lot, so we're wearing white.
All right, so it's my turn to chime in here. You guys made great points. I mean, Bad Dog knows his Giants. Sean knows his Cowboys. So hear it out, you guys. I'm going to have to say I have this Sunday football, the Giants winning this game. And you know what? But I like Sean's point that it will be a close game. I think the Cowboys are going to use Zeke a lot more, unlike they did in Carolina. Learn from that mistake, and try to keep Eli Manning and his weapons, most importantly, off the field as much as possible. That's what you guys try to do.
That's what we try.
So, and then the Giants themselves, but see, the Giants, Sean, they just got too much weapons on the offense. They have that big playability that you guys don't really have outside of Zeke. Yeah. They got Saquon Barkley, but they also got Odell Beckham Jr. who can just go off. I mean, I'm impressed with his 111 yards on 11 receptions against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, and remember, he could have 12 for 165 had Eli hit him in the end zone because he burned Ramsey on that play.
Exactly.
He just missed him.
So I think it'll be a closer game. But I'm going to go with the Giants winning this one. They just have more big play ability over you guys. I'm going Giants.
I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm nervous about this game.
Okay.
So am I. Don't let the false bravado fool you. Inside, the butterflies are going, man. Trust me. When Sunday night hits here, I'm going to – I might go throw up in the toilet before the game just for good luck.
Now, check this out. Everybody watching right now.
Yes.
You want to see Sean or you want to see Bad Dog's reaction live of the game? We're each going to be streaming. Yeah. Sean and I will be streaming that game, and Bad Dog himself will be streaming his reactions live during Sunday Night Football.
Who's going to be crying?
So make sure...
Both of us, probably.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
If we ended a tie like the Browns and Steelers, I'm going to be so pissed off.
That'd be horrible.
You know what? Do it. Put up both streams up. Put both streams up. Have Sean have the stream for us and have Bad Dog side by side so you get the live reactions. And in order to make sure you are going to be watching Bad Dog's live stream and get his reactions, you gotta go subscribe to MrBaddog7676. The link is in the description box down below. Go subscribe and hit that notification so that way you know when Bad Dog goes live.
Even if you're a Cowboys fan, guys, Mr. Bad Dog, he's awesome. Go subscribe to him. It doesn't matter. Let's have some fun, guys.
Much appreciated, guys. Yeah, I'm going to go live, and I'm probably going to go off a few times, too. So.
Oh, yeah. Because we are passionate about our teams.
You got to be.
It's
football.
Especially a divisional game in prime time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dallas Giants, it doesn't get any bigger for us.
No, definitely not.
Absolutely. So, guys, We want to thank Mr. Bad Dog coming onto the Sports Fury once again and helping us preview this Cowboys and Giants matchup for Sunday Night Football. Bad Dog, it's always a pleasure, and we can't wait to have you on again.
Yeah.
Absolutely a pleasure, guys. I always appreciate it. And remember, Week 13. Just putting it out there.
It's going down again.
Yeah.
Out there.
All right, guys, you let us know in the comment section who you have winning, Cowboys or Giants. And once again, Bad Dog will be live streaming. So make sure you tune in for that. And we'll see how it all goes down. Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Later.
Let's do it.